Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're doing a deep dive on something really cool.
Oh, yeah?
It's a language learning technique that could seriously up your English fluency game.
I think so too, for sure.
It's called shadowing.
Catchy name.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Basically, it's all about mimicking native speakers.
Like an echo.
Exactly. You're trying to match their pronunciation, their rhythm, their intonation.
Sounds intense.
It can be, but it's so effective.
That's what we like to hear.
Right. We'll be pulling all this info from a podcast episode script that really breaks down the method.
A script.
Well, yeah, that's the source for this deep dive today.
Gotcha.
So get ready for those light bulb moments.
Let's go.
One of the things I found super interesting is that shadowing isn't just about
Getting the words right.
yes, it's deeper than that.
Tell me more.
It's about capturing the music of English.
The music.
Yeah, like the rhythm and flow, even the emotions.
Ah, I see what you mean.
You know how our source material compares our brains to sponges when we're learning language?
Yeah, it's a great analogy.
I thought so too. Can you tell us a little bit more about why mimicking is so powerful for us?
Well, think about it like this. We're naturally inclined to copy, especially when we're kids.
Oh yeah, totally.
It's how we learned everything.
Makes sense.
And shadowing it kind of taps back into that innate ability, even if you're,
Not a kid anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you describe shadowing to someone who's never heard of it?
Okay, so imagine you're listening to someone speaking English, right? A native speaker.
Okay.
And then immediately after you hear them say something, you repeat it.
Like right on their heels?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're basically their echo trying to mirror how they say it, their pronunciation,
They
everything.
put their little pauses and stuff.
Yeah, even that, it's about capturing the essence of their speech.
So much more than just repeating the words.
Exactly.
Okay, so it's like you become a vocal chameleon, blending into the sounds of native speech.
Love that.
Right. I'm super intrigued already.
Me too.
So we were talking about capturing the music of the language.
Oh, yeah, that's key.
Could you elaborate on that a bit?
For sure. So every language has its own melody, right?
Yeah. Okay.
And in English, we use stress pauses, changes in our pitch, to convey meaning.
And emotion, I bet.
Think about it like this.
Okay.
The way you say, I love pizza.
I love pizza.
Yeah, exactly.
But it sounds different depending on my mood.
Right. You could be excited, sarcastic, or just stating a fact.
And shadowing helps you pick up on all those subtle things.
It does, which is what makes your speech sound more natural, more engaging.
It's so interesting.
Right.
It's not just about saying the words, it's about how you say them.
Totally.
Like you're literally stepping into the speaker's vocal footsteps.
Makes sense.
Our source material actually highlights 3 main reasons why this technique is so powerful.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Do you want to walk us through them?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So first, it helps you master pronunciation.
Makes sense.
English has a ton of sounds that might not exist in your native language. So shadowing gives you this focused practice to get them right.
It makes me think back to when I was trying to learn Spanish.
Oh, yeah.
Rolling my R's was such a struggle. I wish I knew about shadowing back then.
Shadowing would have been perfect for that. And it's not just individual sounds.
yes.
It also helps with word stress, sentence intonation, all that good stuff.
It's like training your mouth muscles.
Yeah. It's like going to the gym for your mouth.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay, what about the second reason?
All right. So the second reason is that it turns you into an active listener
Oh, interesting.
instead of just passively, absorbing words. You're really tuning in.
To the sounds, the rhythm, everything.
You got it. All the elements that contribute to fluency.
It's like you develop this heightened awareness of the language.
Yes. You start noticing things you might have missed before.
I can see that.
And that brings us to number 3,
Hit me with it.
confidence.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Right. When you shadow, you're not overthinking grammar rules or vocabulary.
It's more about the flow.
Exactly. You trust your instincts more.
That's so important for fluency, right? Feeling comfortable and
That
confident.
makes a world of difference.
It's like learning to dance,
Oh, I like that.
At first, you're kind of clumsy, but with practice,
You get the hang of it.
yeah. Our source also give this really cool tip.
Spill the tea.
You ready for this? Record yourself while you're shadowing.
Woo!
Yeah. Then you can compare it to the original and hear exactly where you need to improve.
That's brilliant. Like having a personal language coach.
Right. It takes the guesswork out of it.
I love that.
So let's say someone's ready to give this a go. What kind of audio should they choose?
That's a great question.
And how do they even get started?
Where to begin?
Well, our source mentions starting small.
Okay, makes sense.
They suggest like 10 to 30-second clips to begin with.
Bite-sized pieces.
Yeah. And picking content with a clear speaker.
Easy to follow along with.
Exactly. And at a pace you can keep up with.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot, right?
Yeah. Challenging, but not overwhelming.
Exactly.
Like a good warm-up before a workout.
Love that analogy. So what kind of stuff are we talking about here?
They mentioned podcasts.
Oh, yeah, those are great.
TED Talks, even scenes from movies or TV shows.
Really? You can shadow anything.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. As long as the audio's high quality.
Makes sense and the speaker's clear.
Exactly.
So many options.
I know, right? I'm already thinking about which podcasts I want to use.
Me too.
Oh, and the source also says to start slow.
Yeah, pace yourself.
Maybe even adjust the playback speed if it's too fast.
Good tip.
And don't be afraid to use subtitles at first.
Especially if you're just starting out.
Right. But the goal is to eventually ditch those crutches.
Crutches.
The subtitles, yeah. So your ears can really tune in.
I get you like training wheels on a bike.
Perfect analogy. Eventually you want to ride freely.
Exactly. You know what's
Get
interesting?
that.
Our source mainly talks about shadowing for languages,
Yeah.
but I feel like there's a bigger picture here.
Oh, tell me more.
Couldn't you apply this technique to other skills too?
I've never thought about that.
Think about it. Shadowing is basically observing and replicating excellence.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So it's amazing for languages.
Yeah.
But what about, say, learning to cook?
Ooh, interesting. Instead of just reading a recipe.
Right, you could watch a chef prepare a dish.
And really pay attention to their every move.
Exactly. How they hold the knife, chop veggies, everything.
And then try to do the same in your own kitchen.
It's like having a virtual mentor.
You're not just learning the steps, you're absorbing their expertise.
Precisely. And it doesn't stop there.
Wait, what else could you shadow?
Think about it. Music, public speaking, even sports.
Whoa, hold on. Let me catch up.
Oh,
So a musician could shadow their favorite guitarist.
yeah, mimic their finger movements, everything.
Or someone who wants to be a better public speaker could study famous speeches.
Exactly. Pay attention to their pacing pauses, all that.
This is blowing my mind.
I know, right?
It's making me rethink how I approach learning.
It's not just about reading or watching passively.
You have to actively engage.
And that's where shadowing comes in.
So instead of just watching that chef,
Yeah.
I should actually try their techniques.
Yes. Mimic them, feel the rhythm of their movements.
It's like stepping into their shoes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And through that, you internalize their expertise.
It's like a shortcut to success.
I love that way of putting it.
Me too. It's so empowering.
Right. Anyone can achieve mastery.
With enough practice and the right mindset.
Absolutely. Now, the journey might be tough,
Yeah, there will be challenges.
but the rewards are worth it.
I totally agree. Okay, so let's say someone's ready to try shadowing,
Yeah, let's do it.
but not for language this time, for something else.
Ooh, I love this.
What would be your advice for them?
Good question.
Well, I think the first thing would be to figure out what you're really passionate about.
Oh, yeah, passion is key.
Right. It's what keeps you going when things get tough.
Totally. Find a skill that really sparks your curiosity.
Something you're eager to learn.
Exactly. And then find someone who's already killing it in that area.
Like a role model.
Yeah. Could be someone you know personally or even someone you admire from afar.
So someone whose work really inspires you.
Exactly. Whose skills you want to emulate.
Makes sense. So what do we do next? Just copy everything they do?
Not exactly. It's more about observation first.
Oh, okay, I see.
Break down their process into smaller steps.
Manageable chunks.
Yeah. And pay attention to the details.
What kind of details?
How they hold a tool, the words they use, even their body language.
It's like detective work, uncovering the secrets of their success.
I love that.
Me too. So once you've observed and analyzed,
Then you can start mimicking and practicing.
Those individual elements.
You got it. And don't worry about making mistakes.
Mistakes are part of the process.
Exactly. Even the pros were beginners once.
It's through those mistakes that we learn and grow.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Before we jump back to language learning,
Yeah.
I'm curious, have you ever tried shadowing yourself? Good question.
For language or even other skills?
Well, I can't say I've shadowed a chef in the kitchen or anything,
Uh-huh.
but I have definitely used it for languages.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
When I was learning Italian, I used to shadow scenes from my favorite movies.
No way. That's awesome.
I know, right? I'd try to match the actor's pronunciation, intonation, even their hand gestures.
Wow. That's next level shadowing.
It was so much fun, though.
Sounds like it.
And it really helped me improve my Italian.
I bet it made learning so much more engaging.
It totally did. It wasn't just about memorizing rules, it was about experiencing the language.
That's what it's all about.
Right. And that's what I love about shadowing. It can turn learning into an adventure.
Totally. The possibilities are endless.
You could shadow anyone whose skills you admire.
A musician, a dancer, an athlete, anyone.
So let's bring it back to English fluency.
Back to our roots.
Our source emphasizes choosing audio clips that you actually enjoy.
Oh yeah, for sure. Learning should be fun.
Right. Why force yourself to listen to something boring?
Exactly. Pick something that interests you.
Whether it's a podcast about your hobby or a funny scene from a movie.
The more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to stick with it.
And that's when you see the results.
Improved pronunciation, fluency, confidence, the whole package.
And don't forget about recording yourself.
Yes, the language coach in your pocket.
It's such a great way to track your progress.
And celebrate those wins.
Hearing yourself improve is so motivating.
Speaking of motivation, we should probably mention
What's up?
shadowing isn't magic. It takes effort.
Yeah, consistency is key.
But trust me, the rewards are worth it.
It's like any skill you want to master.
You got to put in the work.
But shadowing can make that work feel less like work and more like fun.
Exactly. It's immersive, it's engaging.
You're not just drilling grammar, you're experiencing the language.
Feeling it come alive in your own voice.
Beautifully said. As we wrap up our deep dive today.
Time flies.
No, right? I think the biggest takeaway for me is that shadowing is more than just a technique.
It's a mindset shift.
Yes, it's about embracing observation, imitation, and practice.
To achieve mastery in any area of life,
It reminds us that we don't have to start from scratch
we can learn from the best.
and use their wisdom to fuel our own journey.
It's like a secret weapon, a shortcut to success.
I love that. So if you're ready to unlock your full potential,
In language learning or any other skill,
give shadowing a try.
start small. Find material you love and see where it takes you.
You might surprise yourself.
The journey of learning is an adventure.
Embrace the challenges, celebrate the victories.
And never stop exploring.
That's a perfect note to end on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of shadowing.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you learned some valuable insights today. Until next time, happy shadowing.